No, it didn't break everything.
That was funny.
It was
flying.
It was flying all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was trying to go in outside. It was trying to play. Who is that? Who is that?
Some quality CNC routing going on here, mate. Oh, I'm gonna get some criticism for this. Yeah, that turned out. 10 mil pokey outy bit. So when I make, this is a mold and it will, oh fuck me dad. And that will be the recess that my rubber seal will go into, which is this bit here. This is another awesome tool that I wish I had ages ago for putting switches in. You can just plow it in like that. These clips were done before the last video. So I'm gonna cut this straight, put some rubber in here. This is the rubber I'm going to use in like that slot in here. How I'm gonna break all this apart from the mold. This is only the first iteration of, I'm thinking I might be able to get away with making it thinner. To make it so it doesn't have this big blobber on the back, have this bit come out like this, and then have the actuator up more vertical. With a weak gas strut to give it a hand. And have that up like that. Might play around with some design. It looks cool though. And it's not offensive when you look at it from this direction, which is what you'll be looking at when I'm driving here. Definitely have a lot of work to do on that. The plan is to have a seal that goes all the way down the sides, but that'll be on this bit that protrudes out here, holding the curved window here. And it'll also have the seal that is going to be here. It sounds like it's vibrating. You can probably see a massive problem here. So this is my 5 mil lip here, which is absolutely tiny when I want to make it reasonably thick on this section. I've got to get into that tiny little rut. With fiberglass. This is my remedy. Or at least I think I'll be able to do this. Another big maybe. This is chopper gun string and it doesn't wet out good, but I've got another option for that. You'll see that later. Any more than a 10 mil recess and this will flare out too much, and then I think this seal will end up failing. So I've got to make sure that this is perfect on 10 mil, but at the moment I've made this recess somehow too deep. So I'm just gonna put some washers in here, screw this. Oh yeah, this is where I should have stopped. Measuring with calipers, what could possibly go wrong? Not only was the recess too low, it was uneven as well because I didn't level the build platform. So this is a piece that I'm making at the moment in the CNC, and you can see I'm at full build volume, so I have to make sure that the router doesn't crash into here or start chewing out of the rail here. Little bit of help here from the king of the blobs. So I shouldn't have cut it with the saw, because now I have pretty much got this whole bit has been separated. I'm going to try and use this blade to trim it up. Another thing is when I cut this in the guillotine, it goes crooked. So I've got to try and straighten it up as much as I can. I know I could cut it manually, but I hate doing things manually. I just hammered this aluminium pipe down really thin so it'll fit in here. Mix some epoxy, put the epoxy in the bag, sticky tape this to the pipe and squirt it in hopefully neatly. I'm definitely feeling like I'm wasting my time at this stage. Goo goo gaga.
Oh, yep, it's time to move on to something different.
So I just made a paper template of the window and now I'm making a strong one. So I'm gonna need to cut a lot of different perspex shape with this template. Little bit of rearranging to fit this wood in. That's a bit better. Now the shelf is over there with a lot less stuff. I have to get it all through there. I'm gonna put it there. I ended up getting help. That is a big piece of wood, or all of that is big. It's the straightest piece out of all of those. You get what you're given. This is all free stuff from a mate. Instead of crawling around on the deck, I figure it's easier to build the dash again down here. So I need to build like a front lip. I just tried using this saw to do a radius. Just worried it was going to wander. Normally when you do it with a jigsaw with a skinny blade, it flares out. Pretty confident this will look beautiful after I'm done. Got another new toy. My old one broke. Luckily, I'm only using it for DIY stuff. Okay, so I've got my dash assembled at the back step of my house. And I've got to make like a lip that the perspex can butt up against. I've got lots of work to do. This is a bit wonky, so I might have to stiffen this up, which is annoying. Luckily, I haven't got around to sanding and finishing the top coat paint on the top of the deck. So I can still move this line a bit. I've got to make like a smooth line inside this line. So I cut it down a bit. It's going to be a good workbench because now it's nice and straight. I can see through it. That's why I use baker's paper.
It says in the destruction manual not to turn with this saw, but it turns.
I'm impressed with how straight it cuts it.
This forklift costs less than a car jack. It's got some oil leaks, but she's fine when you put a drip tray in it. I'll fix it properly another day.
You guys aren't going to like it, but I don't like it even more. I've got to build another dummy window. I've changed the pitch of the front window, so all the mold that I've been building for the center window, even the perspex, is the wrong size now. One thing I'm doing is I'm moving this pillar back 100 mil nearly. I've changed that to 45 degrees. The reaver is more like 43 degrees here. The reason why I didn't go to 43 is because my bit here is like on a steeper angle. I think this way will look better. It looks cool from this angle. I should have done it like this at the start because I don't know if you guys remember, but to do that lip, I sticky taped and hot glue gunned like this crappy plastic that didn't really stay there that good. So when I bent the foam in this edge, I had to keep pushing against this and pushing it out like that. So anyway, we'll see if I fluked getting the last windows done. This is my fault. I had a friend come over the other day and he said that he was impressed at how I made the dummy windows, and I said, oh, I could do that in a day. We'll see how long it takes me. This is punishment for bragging.
Using my new favourite tool again. Cuts acrylic beautifully.
While it's hot, to get all the melted plastic off it, I've just been putting soap all over it. Well, I'm very impressed with this so far. It's cut heaps of melamine now and that, and the blade doesn't seem to be getting dull.
When's
We want the big ones. The big ones are in here.
The only thing this doesn't have is a button that stays on. Zip tie. This pipe is going to be fiberglassed into the back of the window thing to give it some structure and strength and air conditioning.
I'm at that stage where I'm feeling nervous because there's so many things that could go wrong, and I've put so much time into cutting everything and just putting thought into how I'm going to do everything. So I'm going to have a 9mm slot that goes around here like that. I'll lay a couple, probably 2 or 3 fiberglass wovens, because if I do it out of wovens, at least I don't need to cut it to the right shape or anything. And then while it's wet, I'll squash this in, and then these are here to help push it in. And then the thing is, before I put these in, I want to fold some fiberglass over so it's going like and then that's a big maybe, because I don't know how it's going to go after I bend it around and shove it into the shape. I don't know if the cloth will all bunch up. You have to do everything really quick before the fiberglass goes off. I'm also worried that I'm not going to be able to pull this inside sheath out. That's why I think it's good to be in 2, because I only need to break the seal on 1, and then the next one will come out really easy. But I've had some bad experiences, you guys know, with releasing stuff. And then this one is the last one that I'll squash into it. Anyway, I'll show you. It helps that I did it out of see-through perspex. I can see exactly what I'm doing. So easy. Why didn't I do this ages ago? Okay, that worked. A little bit fiddly. Good. I've got these numbered.
Notice I put a little bookmark in my fiberglass there to let me know that's 2
So
layers.
I just wrapped 2 of the layers over, cupped it. I'm hopeless.
And my computer crashed and I lost hours of editing, so I have to break these videos up into parts. Sorry, I'll try to get each part out as soon as I can. The reason I'm making fiberglass curved frames is because I'm trying to cold form the 4.5mm acrylic into shape. Cold forming is when you bend the acrylic without heat and molds. This way is easier, cheaper, and has a better chance of not getting any distortions. The frame will be the thing holding the acrylic curved. A few days in the sun will take the tension out. I have my advice from mainly 2 professional window guys, and one said you can't, and the other said I might get away with it. Wish me luck. See you on the next one.